Evening, Doug Ziegler. Welcome to Brothers in Video Games.
Still booze, though. In video games with some side of booze. So,
a lot to talk about. So, without further ado, let's bring on Steve from Super Fun Game Review Podcast Go, and Rod from Rod J Gaming.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you now?
Doing well, man.
We're doing great. A lot of it's been going down since we last saw you, so I don't know where to even start or where to jump in. But I believe the thing that everybody's talking about or what's going on right this moment is the Xbox release or the Xbox, presale, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So who are the Xbox people here and who's ready for it? Let's hear about it. Doug, you first, I guess, right? Or you?
Yeah, I think when we had the show before, I think I was the only guy who was like, I am an Xbox guy. Everybody else was like, yeah, I'm PlayStation, but I'll do Xbox if I can. Me, I'm an Xbox guy through and through. Today was like their pre-order day. They started, and I was mentioning to you guys before the show started, like I hit like GameStop and Best Buy and Target and Walmart, and 3 of those were just immediately sold out as soon as the pre-order went live. And the only one that wasn't was Best Buy. And I kept refreshing. And eventually it said, we're all booked out on it. So, all that shit I talked about, the PlayStation pre-order release, Xbox did the same damn thing.
It's like, wait a minute. I've heard this before.
Second first, same as the first.
What's your take, Steve? Where you at with the Xbox and coming out? And
well, with the Xbox itself, it's not really on my radar too much. I mean, for the fact that they're also doing a digital edition, kind of piqued my interest a little bit. But compared to like the hardware that they're putting in that, compared to what I can also do on a PC, and it's still being, Microsoft, and you're able to get it through their app that they have going on, may seem a little more beneficial. But at the same time, I don't know, having a brand new console for $300, it's been a really long time since there was anything at that price point, regardless of what it is.
Yeah, I didn't take notice to the drive size between the virtual, not the virtual, the online version versus the other one. So the $299 version. Did you happen to catch what the hard drive size was for that?
Yeah. So the memory size on that one is 512 gigabytes. Okay. Where then compared to the Series X, that's a terabyte.
Yeah, it's a full terabyte on that. So
yeah, that was something.
But
sorry, go ahead.
But on Xbox, that's not a lot of space.
Exactly. I mean, even with a lot of the new gen consoles, that's not a lot of space. I ended up going out for my PS4 and picking up a 4 terabyte external hard drive, so I can have so I can have something to go with it.
So that is really like that's the limitation of the smaller box there, the Xbox.
Yeah, what they have with the hardware they put on that, which is I think why you see such a difference between the price with the larger console of Xbox being 1 terabyte. It's more powerful system, and then that's scaled back a good bit for their digital edition. Why it's able to be $200 less compared to like the PS5 disc version and digital edition, which they're pretty comparable in hardware. It's just the extra thing is the disc drive that you're paying an extra $100 for.
But you guys are saying either way you're going to pay, because if you buy that, then you're going to need some extra hard drive space at some point.
Yeah, I mean, even with the Xbox One, the one I got has a 500 gig hard drive. So I work in IT, but a 500 gig hard drive for even just a laptop, you're like, that's pretty good space. Like I don't need a whole lot out of that because I can save most of my stuff in network shares. But I guess if I didn't have to do that, 500 gig would be small. But like I couldn't put 6 games on a 500 gig. I had to go buy a 4 terabyte hard drive, just like Steve there, and that's how it works. Rod, did you notice anything with the storage space with your stuff, or is it similar?
Well, with me, I've got the PlayStation, but I've got a 4 terabyte drive that I hook into it as well. So gigabyte is like so freaking early 2000s now. Like everything should be terabyte. You can't have as much stuff with a lot of the gigabyte stuff. So I mean, yeah, the terabyte is definitely needed. I mean, I'm definitely more. I'm a former Microsoft player, current PlayStation player for the most part. So I don't play Microsoft as much. It was kind of a little interesting because a couple of my friends have said some stuff about it, but I don't know. I just haven't been one back to that side yet. And, you know, back in the day, I used to play a little Halo. Kind of got away from that. Didn't really play Gears of War as much. I was more sports. Even though I was a shooter, it was more the multiplayer shooter. So even though Halo was one, I always felt like Halo was just more of that. I want to say it's kind of like the younger version, the younger generation. I'm more Call of Duty. I'm more Rainbow Six. I'm more give me the big boy guns, not this whole, you know, really like that. That's in between the Fortnite and the Call of Duty. Then you got Halo, like somewhere in between there. So that was the big attraction back in the day with Microsoft. But I don't know. It'll be interesting because I have a lot of computers here at the house. I have a couple computers in my office here, and every time I update it, it's like, oh, you can hook your Xbox into it. So, well, that'd be kind of interesting. But then I also have the PS4 remote. So I could actually play PS4 on my computer hooked into the PS4 network and then stream it that way too, which is interesting. So,
yeah.
Well, excellent. And we are happy to bring on Victor from FanDats.
Yeah, Victor, man.
So guys,
Nice to see you, Victor, head to toe.
you're not in your overalls.
Yeah, I know. I'm not wearing my full force shirt. Sorry.
Without further ado, Victor, we're into the Xbox pre-release today, and getting reactions from that, and talking about how, you know, the price, a little bit prices, talking about a little bit that too. So, what's your take on it?
That was a cluster that day. Cause I was like, I got excited. I'm like, I got some, you know, Best Buy credit that I can use, like gift cards. So I'm gonna wake up early, log in, and then pre-order my PS5. But that day, like the day before, I saw someone tweet that they just pre-ordered theirs. And then I'm like, wait, how? And then they're like, yeah, Walmart broke the pre-order date, and everybody. So I just started jumping in, and it just was terrible after that. But
Wait, I'm sorry. I asked you about the Xbox release today, not the PS4.
Hey, guess what, Victor?
That's where my mind is at.
It's the same thing. Victor's almost the same scenario. The Xbox pre-order was a mess too, but
yeah, you know what? I only had one sip, so there's that.
you need more.
Yeah.
So, Victor, you didn't participate in the Xbox one?
You know what? I got on, but same thing. I would get it near the cart or whatever, and it just kept refreshing, and then nothing happened. So we'll see what happens during Christmas time. You know, I'll wait. I mean, obviously they're going to keep releasing more as the dates go closer to how the actual release date. So I'll wait until then. But I mean, you know, if I can get one, cool. If not, you know, I still have my PS3 and my Xbox One. So I mean, that's holding me off so far.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're about to segue back to the PS4 release, because I don't know there's any way we couldn't talk about that, because that was pretty crazy on its face. So you just explained your situation as far as that goes. So were you trying to get an Xbox because you didn't get a PS4, or you're just going to get them both, or where are you at with the whole? Are you looking at both?
I think it was that.
Rod said I'm more of a PS5 guy, so I don't know if I'm gonna dip to the Xbox. Where you at, Victor?
I think it was like that one. Like, if I can't get this one, let me see if I can get the other one. And I didn't, so I'm gonna. I mean, I want to go towards the PS5 because I mean I've been wanting a PS4 forever. I mean, I could probably find one for cheap now. But I mean, there's a lot of games on that I want to play, and then like on the Xbox, I mean, the only thing I could think of would be like Gears of War or maybe Forza that I'll be interested in playing in. But I have to see what else they have coming out. But then there's that whole thing with Bethesda that just popped up.
Yeah.
So we'll see what else comes out with that. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can't. But the thing, too, is like I don't have that much playtime like I used to, you know, like my life BC, you know, before kids or before children. But now it's like I got to find that time to play. And it's usually 12 o'clock at night. And then I'll end up, you know, falling asleep and my character's like in a corner just watching for hours. So yeah, if I get something, it's got to be a system that I know there's a lot that I want to play on, and that I'm gonna make the time to play the games on there.
Gotcha. So you're at this point, your system's just for you. Your kids aren't of that age. I mean, I got teenage boys, so they pretty much lead me around on this subject. So if they're more of the, you know what I mean, they would be the ones that would get the new system, and I wouldn't. But so anybody else have any crazy Xbox pre-release stories like that? Steve, did you try? Rod, did you try? Were you around or?
I didn't.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, sorry, Steve.
Thanks. No, I was saying I didn't. Didn't try or anything when I at least saw that it was up and running, because I saw when we posted up, it's like, hey, I think it was like 10 a.m. Eastern or 11 a.m. Eastern. I just went on like 5 after because I had a couple minutes at work, and I'm like, let's just see where it's out. And I think I went to like Target and Best Buy or something, and it already just said like it wasn't available. I'm like, all right, so it went just as quick as PS5.
Mm-hmm. Although I will say that whether they're going to meet this demand or not, Microsoft did say that they were going to meet whatever demand it was for the hardware for the release when the day came. They can say that. Can they actually do it? I don't know.
Yeah. Actions speak louder than words.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have no idea. Have you guys heard anything about PS5 making the same kind of claim as whether or not they're going to make sure that they have enough stock when it comes to the actual release day? Because I haven't.
I did read a piece saying they were going to be meeting the demand. They thought they were going to be focusing on stuff. So that's all said. We'll see what happens. But I mean, they only put out what they can put out. I don't know how they're affected by their places. What if they get a corona breakout? Are they going to shut down stuff for a bit or what? So
yeah.
Right now, it's a matter of waiting here. But it's funny because you guys talk about the Xbox thing. So this morning I opened up my email when I was at work. So Amazon sent me an email like saying, hey, Microsoft Xbox goes live at 10 o'clock if you want to. And I was like, I wasn't going to check into it, but I'm like, there's going to be so many people pissed they get an email like that.
They're going to get that email and go, God damn it.
Made me think of Big Worm from Friday, like you're playing on my emotions, Smokey.
But I think even like Gil mentioned something like that being a PlayStation Plus member and all the other perks that you're supposed to have, you would figure they would have gotten an email ahead of time, or at least some sort of special pre-order key or access site that they can go to. But I guess they just were like, we're going to put it out, and if you can get it, you can get it, and not everybody's happy about it.
If you're paying for like a premium membership, is that how that works? Because I'm not a
Well, it's just like Xbox, you pay $60 a year for online, but they give you free games and stuff too as a Plus member each month too. So
they do on Xbox too. Well, no, they don't. If you get Game Pass, that's a different beast.
Yeah.
Which they did change it, because I had this email where like I had one of those things where somebody charged something on my card, so I had to get a different card, and then I had updated it, but I didn't update it for the Game Pass. The Game Pass was a separate entity for charging. So they said, all right. And then I went online, said I couldn't get online. And I was like, yeah, but I have the year subscription. And I went in and I went to renew it. And they said, all right, well, here's your options. You don't get to buy for a year anymore.
Really?
So you buy either the gold, which is, I think, $10 a month, or you buy the ultimate, which is Game Pass and Xbox. And so I'm like, well, I'll get the Game Pass. It's $5 extra a month, and I can get free games. I don't know. They changed that up, which was weird, because the entire time I've been on Xbox, it's always you can pay month to month, which was more expensive, where you can pay for a year because you buy it basically like buying in bulk. You pay for a year thing, and now they changed it. So that was different. I didn't.
Money,
yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah, they didn't even offer like a year subscription for like the bundle of services at all. So I don't know if they're gonna do that going forward, but that was new.
Yeah.
What did someone charge on your card? FIFA points? I remember that used to be like the big hack for like Xboxes. People would get their system hacked, and all their points would be used like on FIFA cards and all that.
It's a big game in the world of gaming.
Thanks, Europe.
Yeah.
But it's funny, like this past weekend, cause like, I don't know, anybody else play like Call of Duty besides me? Like, is anybody else a Call of Duty player?
I haven't in a while.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
PlayStation 4, we got the Alpha release this past weekend. So we got the chance to play Call of Duty Cold War Alpha. So all weekend, people have been playing that. But they didn't give it to Microsoft or the computer people, and it's kind of a little bitter, I would think, with being there. But we had a blast. And the study at 1:30, we were playing and cut off right there at 1:30. Like, thanks for playing. See you guys in October for the debate. Like, no, I'm in the middle of my best match now. I got it down this weekend. Now I'm done. So that was kind of interesting, but it was surprising that because they're multi-platform, they only put it on one system.
Like I saw stuff for Xbox for that, but they didn't have like a live beta like you did for PS5.
Yeah. So this was just the first alpha. Then the beta will come out October 8th, I think, if you pre-order, and then the game's like released, I think, November or whatever. But interesting.
Yeah, they do have the beta available if you pre-order for Xbox as well. I'd be interested to see if they do even the beta cross-platform, because they should. If they're going to make the game cross-platform, they should do that. Even at beta test. But
you would think, especially if they're actually in the beta part of the development, that's the time to really start testing it out before it goes live. And then you have millions of pissed off people like, well, why can't I play with Bob on Xbox and Billy on PC? It only took how many years to actually get cross-platform when it's been there for a while? They're just pouting in the corner. I don't want to do it. That doesn't make me money.
It's still a little buggy though in the cross platforms. We play a lot of the Modern Warfare, and there'll be people that get dropped at certain points for no reason, and things come out a little bit. So it's still a little buggy in what they're doing, but they're definitely headed in the right direction. They need to get on some more games besides just Call of Duty. I don't know if they got the lockdown on it right now or what, but they need to get it out to other stuff, which would be pretty cool.
Now, for that, sorry, go ahead, Doug.
No, Steve, you go. I had a very small point, so you go.
I was just going to ask with the cross-platforming, because I really haven't had too much. Now, when you're playing, like when you're logging in to play Call of Duty, do you actually get a choice between just sticking to just the same PS4 users, or is there another option for the cross-platforming?
Well, depending on your system, I mean, you have the PS4 or you have the Xbox or you have the computer, so you'll see everybody's setup, you know who you're going against and stuff. But
okay.
I have one of my friends, he actually has all three, so he plays sometimes under his computer name. His computer went out, then he jumped on the PlayStation, and then he was on Xbox for a while. His wife took that over because she's hooked into it now. So she took that and made her own account on that. So he's pretty much doing it either on the PlayStation or the computer, which was funny because this past weekend, she was not a happy camper with him because we played Alpha and she couldn't get on it with the Xbox again. So even in her household, he was like, I'm over here playing Alpha. Sorry, babe. I'll catch up with you later. You hear he's cussing both of us out when we're playing Alpha. She's like, I'll play Modern Warfare by myself then, I guess. God damn, blah, blah, blah. We're like, all right, we'll be back over there in a little bit. So,
well, there could be worse things to bicker about. I guess that's not too bad.
Right. It never bothered me. If a frying pan came across the room, it was his head. It wasn't mine. It was his.
That's fair.
Yeah. I know when I play I still play Fortnite. It's like a mindless game to play for me. Like, I'm not good at it. I don't care. I just go in and it's quick to just do some quick stuff. When you do cross-platform, you can see the various platforms are on. It's like an icon. And you don't get it. You don't get a choice. You don't get to choose. I only want my console, because the PC players have an advantage. So,
Yeah, on the Call of Duty, you can choose not to cross-platform. It would just be PlayStation players, but I kind of like the cross-platforming.
I could be wrong. Maybe Fortnite does have that. I just never look. I don't care. I just log in and go, what challenges can I do today? Because that's my fucking focus for everything for video games. So
you're a gold game.
That's fair.
It's a reason to play.
It literally is, because Fortnite has daily challenges and they have weekly ones, and I'm always like, when I play even just regular video games, it's like, all right, what's my next objective? That's my goal. And it's the task focused brain of me that I cannot stop doing. So.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So has either company come out with an update on when there's going to be more available, or we're just in limbo?
I think I saw Sony
Yeah.
tweet something.
I'm sorry, Victor.
No, I think I saw Sony tweet something like that. They're going to have more out, and just for people to be constant or checking their local retailers. But it was like just more like, we'll have some out soon, but we don't know when. So just keep asking, your local GameStop or whatever. Keep bugging them until they tell you that they're going to get them. But yeah, that's basically what they put out there. But I like what Xbox did. Xbox just put out here's where we're coming out. Here's our pre-order date. Now this is when we might come out, but like what Sony did.
Mm-hmm. That's been the big difference between the two of them is like the communication, the transparency between it, where PlayStation, like Sony just completely dropped the ball, initially right off the bat. And then it took like a couple days to be like, oh, hey, our bad. We'll let you know soon. And then instead of saying or giving dates, they're like, just keep looking around on the internet. You might find something, you might not. I don't give a crap. You're buying it anyway. It's like, okay. And then Microsoft at least is like, hey, here's something a little more like to look forward to, something to check into. So we're going to let you know as it goes along. So, I mean, that's where I'll give Microsoft kudos where, it's deserved that they're actually talking to their customer base to let them know, where Sony's just meh. I don't know.
And are the release dates the same day or no? I thought they were.
I know Xbox is November 10th.
Oh, and then I think PlayStation 5 is November 12th.
So they're a couple days apart.
Yeah, it's not too much of a difference.
But that's kind of usually when they do consoles is, early November so that, parents can get them for Christmas for their kids and all that shit. Usually when they release Call of Duty is that time too, just because they're smart to do that. So
one store will have like 2 for Black Friday. People will be crushing each other to get to it.
Has that really happened, Ron?
They always have like something happen when they'll have a Black Friday deal. Like someone will have it out there. They'll have it more too. That's why you see people like they open those doors. People go running and stuff. Like last year I saw a lot of people with the TVs that were going crazy because they had so many sales on TVs. But I have no doubt they'll do something for PlayStation or Microsoft, and it'll be a massacre. Someone will get stampeded. I'm pretty sure of it. Just somewhere. Maybe in Detroit. Maybe not in LA, but somewhere.
It happens every year with something. Somewhere somebody released them, everybody freaking goes nuts. So
PlayStations are the new Furby.
Nothing when it's crazy in our country.
If you're as old as I am, it was Cabbage Patch Kids and things like that. That was like the first one. So
yeah.
All right, so I got a comment here. See if you guys can help them. I'm not a big gaming person. I love watching these, but if there's a real cereal-based game,
a cereal-based game,
wasn't it that Fortnite game? It was like one of the characters Overkill. I think there was a character. Is it Overwatch? I can't.
Well, he's saying cereal, like cereal eat, not cereal killer, though.
Right.
I mean, there's been some food-based games like you got your Burger Time and
Burger Time.
Hey, and you know what? That stupid. Do you guys remember that super creepy Burger King?
Sneaking. Yeah.
Oh my
love
God.
Sneaking. I went and I bought that for like $3. It's like, I'm going to for all these Whoppers and you're hiding in a trash can. Someone pops out and you're just like, hamburger. It's just like taken by surprise.
It was so dumb. And I think you're right. I think it was $3. It was the super cheap thing. You take it in, you pop it in your freaking console and you're like, this is the dumbest thing ever, but it's fucking stupidly fun.
Exactly. I literally went to GameStop to buy that game for like $3.
Hey, man. Manny, we're not laughing at you. We just I wish I had a game for you. Maybe there's a
It's gonna be like some beat Mikey, like eating a bowl of life. You got to beat Mikey.
If you know someone with a Wii, there's a Wii game called Cooking Mama, and you're just cooking the whole time. Probably no cereal, but it's the closest thing to being a chef if you can't, boil spaghetti, so you'll be okay. My buddy and I, there was just like constant times where it's just like it's 11, 12 o'clock at night, half a bottle of bourbon's gone, and we're just sitting there with the Wii mode. Gotta chop the onions, go faster, stew the pot.
Hey, Doug, you mentioned Burger Time, and I got this actually sent in today.
That's right. I saw that today. I was like, that is awesome.
It is, and it's like
Is
so
it
small though. I didn't expect it to be that small.
so? Is it? Can you play it, or is it just a little?
Oh no, you could actually play it.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
it's going through stuff right now. Yeah, like it's.
Check that out.
Yeah. This was like when I would hit an arcade, it was either this, Cubert.
Capper.
No, it was no, that's one, but it was like this, Cubert, Popeye, Elevator Action, and like the Goonies. Those are like the 5 games I'd always look for when I would hit an arcade. Those were like my favorite ones.
It was always Super Mario Brothers. Always Super Mario Brothers for me.
So then how come you're not talking about Nintendo Switches now?
Yeah, that's just the arcade thing. Like listen, we had the Wii for a little bit, and the kids freaking love that shit. They like the bowling and all that stuff. But my kids are teens now; they can't be bothered with that shit. So
that's almost disappointing. I was doing that when I was 19, 20 years old with my roommate. We had it hooked up, and that was good enough.
You want to know what I was doing with my roommate at that age? I was actually playing Tecmo Bowl on the Super NES.
Yes.
Like our college was like, so we had like a floor, and the kids, everybody picked a team, and I always picked the Detroit Lions because I like Barry Sanders, who could just run over everybody, and then one guy would have the Giants because Lawrence Taylor would just destroy everything. It was, and we would schedule classes around matches where people would play each other. It was just nuts.
My freshman year, there were 2 football games. One transitioned into the other. So beginning of the year, it was Joe Montana talking football.
Wow.
And then it kicked over into Madden. And Madden got to the point, like you said, Doug, where you were booking stuff around classes. Like I was in the same dorm with a lot of guys on our football team. And they actually had one of the rooms was called the Bone Dome, where you would actually play Madden games. And you literally had to fill out a schedule when you were looking for a match. And people
Wow.
And it was regular. And you talked about a game in the early days that almost probably get into blows, like with people like yelling and ready to fight each other. Like some of the stuff in Madden back in the day, it would get crazy,
Yeah. The Bone Dome.
Yeah, that's what it was. You thought it would have been room for something else, but no, it was for Madden.
I was a little confused. Mike Ditka, power football.
Oh, Mike Ditka.
We're not gonna talk about Mike Ditka. We're gonna move on past that.
But I was going to ask you guys: have you seen the? And I've seen it a few times on Facebook. I haven't really seen it in person. There's a part that you can put on the back of your iPhone to turn it into a video game. Like it's a video game and attaches to the back of your phone, like a little controller, like the old Nintendo with the 2 A/B button and stuff like that. And you can play the old school games on it. But I've seen that out there, which is pretty slick.
Yeah.
So like you're waiting, you just flip it over, you play, whatever game you're playing while you're waiting.
Yeah. No, Manny, I haven't had the Fruit Hoop Spear. I did see it. I didn't see it here. I saw other people have it. I did not have a chance to have that because I would, as much of a. Hey, I'm with Manny. I like cereal a lot. I just bought recently Count Chocula and Blueberry cereal because that's the only time of year it comes out here. So yeah. But no, I didn't have the Fruit Hoops beer. I gotta see if I can find that shit. I don't know who makes it though.
Rod, you ever had the Fruit Hoops beer?
I have not heard of the Fruit Hoops beer. So Mike, I don't know if that's like a regional where it's from, but no, I have not. Now we've had a beer here from one of our local breweries, and it was actually done with Lucky Charms. It was Shamrock something, but had Lucky Charms. They actually.
Oh, I remember that Lucky Charm.
I think it was a Shamrock milkshake. It might have been called, but yeah, it was a stout.
Hey, Rod, it's from Platform Beer out of Cleveland.
Oh, okay. We actually got one of their tasting houses in Cincinnati now too. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I just
I'm
said Platform Beer Company out of there. It's called Fruit Hoops.
You know, it's
company is fantastic, but they were just recently bought by AB InBev.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. It's kind of funny because I was actually in the Platform a lot when they first came out, and Greg knows the Platform from where he gets that thing over there. See, like he said, it's out of Cleveland. And I almost feel like when they went to AB and Bev, something did change. To me, their beers aren't as appealing as they were before they got bought. And it wasn't just thinking stuff. You know, if I just get a beer and do it, I feel like something's off with them now. And I don't know if they're under different things. A lot of times these bigger companies will do things to get your margins in a certain way. So you're saving and you're cutting corners on some stuff. And I don't know, just they kind of lost something for me after that happened. So I haven't tried them as much.
Yeah.
Well, back to the consoles.
Can I ask a question of y'all, if that's okay, Greg? So we talked about Bethesda being bought up by Microsoft, and I saw that Bethesda and Microsoft have agreed that whatever PlayStation 5 exclusive they have, they've agreed to release as is. What do you think this means for Xbox? I mean, with Bethesda, they have a pretty large video game catalog. What do you guys think of that?
It's a good question. I mean, I think we may see more like exclusivity for Xbox, like starting off. I think that might be where they just kind of give them more lead-in time for the games, because I think it's going to be a little, I don't want to say detrimental for Bethesda, because obviously if Microsoft buying it, they know what they're doing with it, but to cut out a whole nother market when it comes to some of the games. But then they can also maybe say exclusive for Xbox and PC, so that way they can kind of help themselves. But I don't really know how that's really going to work out.
I don't know. You got Elder Scrolls and Fallout and all those, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I think that's the key word for it. It's going to be interesting. We'll have to see how that goes.
Yeah, I had one of my friends, and it was about the program you said you had, Doug, like with the Microsoft Pass or whatever. Yeah, I think he was saying some of their titles are supposed to be released as part of that for free if you have the pass, which might get more people interested in it. But in looking at the suite of games that I looked at, and we talked about a little bit offline in a different chat we had, is I don't know if I feel like I'm losing something with Bethesda. You know, I play Fallout, and I never really get through a lot of it. I play Elder Scrolls a little bit. I get through some of it, but it all depends, I guess, on what you're looking to play. And someone I mentioned in there, they felt like they've been underperforming for the last few years anyway. So I don't know how many people will see that as a win. Like I said, if they ever did bring back Quake again, I'd be all over it, because that was one of my favorite games to actually play. If they could update it for the new console in some way to take it to another level, I'd be all in. They still come out with some of these Doom games. It'll just be a thing to see what they can actually do and what they have. I would say that watching the PlayStation reveal a couple weeks ago, I don't feel like I'm going to miss much, because they got a lot of good stuff coming out of it.
So speaking to the Doom thing, so my youngest son is really into like games like that, and so I got him the Doom game, and I said, all right, well, it might be a bit long, because the one before that was like, you get to a point, all right, well, that was the final guy. No, that was not the final guy. All right, let's go on to the next one. No, that's the final. No. And it was just like, it was like, even on like a regular normal level, it was, I think I spent 17 or 18 hours. I mean, that's legendary level gaming hours for completing a mission. And my son was like, Dad, every time I think it's the final guy, it just isn't. And I mean, he's way better at that shit than I am. And he just like, I feel like I'm near the end, but it's every time I think I'm at the end, it's not the end. And like, I bet you he's put 18 or 19 hours into a game he's playing on normal level for Doom. I don't know. Are they? I mean, granted, you're getting a lot of money for your game, but like, holy shit! At some point, doesn't it have to end? It's not fucking Pitfall. You need to actually get to an end point, you know. So, like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you guys experienced that with. I don't know if any of you have played the Doom games, the 2 more recent versions. I say more recent. The most recent was last year. The other one was probably 6 years before that. So.
Yeah,
because they just came out with Doom Eternal.
Yeah, that's the
Eternal.
one. That's what my son's playing.
Yeah, and then actually we did one for for Super Fun Game Review Podcast Go. We did Doom 2016, and that still took a good little bit, but that was also where it has been so long, and that was under Bethesda too. There we go.
That's the last one that I got there, but I still haven't got, as I said, I haven't got fully through it. And you know what I do when I get on here? I always look at the game to see what they have offered, and it's like, oh, multiplayer. I'm a big multiplayer person. That entitles me to go and get it. I usually play the multiplayer, so I don't even get into the story modes on a lot of the times with the games and stuff. Yeah. And I think that's another part of it too, because people do complain about the replay values. So maybe they're making the storylines longer.
Yeah, well, at least with for like Doom 2016, there were still like the secrets you were trying to find, and it's kind of like the little collectibles. So there is that little thing, like if you want to platinum the game, they're going to give you things to go after, so you can actually have that drive to either once you beat it, go back and grab it again, or you might just be like, hey, I beat it. That's good enough for me. The multiplayer on that one actually wasn't too bad. That was pretty interesting because you were able to take over like these demonic beings pretty much, and then you were just in like this super mode, and then that's the focus of everybody. It's like, holy shit, here's this 20-foot tall thing that's coming around and just like slicing people in half. It's like, we should probably take care of that. That's looking a little rough. But I see where you're going, where it's like you already put in like 20 hours of just trying to get through all the stories, and then by the end it's like, if as I appreciate that, because if you're paying $60 for a game, or with this next generation coming out, you're going up to like $70 per game. If it's like heavy single player based, I better be getting my money's worth out of it. And if it's a game like Doom, if you're going to have online support, that should look pretty damn good too for the amount that you're putting into it.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: is it the game, or is it maybe us? In that, in our appreciation, maybe we're moving faster down than the games itself, because we want that quicker satisfaction to get to that point. So maybe the storylines are like, we're just so quick to now get an appreciation. We've been sped up more with the internet and stuff like that over the years and kind of stuff. We're looking to get to the end point a lot faster. So now we're not sitting back before that time where we enjoy a lot of stuff we take in when playing a game like this. And you're like, oh, the sun's coming up and I'm still playing. Now you're like, Jesus Christ, I want to go to bed, right? So it's a totally different mindset possibly that comes into play.
That's a really good point. That's a really good way of thinking about it. I mean, everything nowadays is just supposed to be bam quick in your face. Get this in, get it going. And then, once it's like, this isn't the way we want you to do it, just settle the hell down a little bit and enjoy it, you bastard.
Yeah.
Like how everybody is binge watching everything nowadays. We want to get to that final episode before someone spoils it for us. So yeah, I guess that's the thing. People are going to buy these games. They want to finish it in one day or a day and a half, and then just be like, okay, I'm done with it. Oh, you're still playing that? Well, I'm on to this game already, and it's like there's like a lot of games I haven't even finished yet. I'm like, I'll finish it when I finish it. I already know the ending though, like Gears 5 and Gears 4, and I haven't even finished those yet. But I'm like, well, I'll get to that point when I get to it. I want to enjoy the game, like Ratatouille. Yeah. Remember, enjoy the food. Don't just swallow it.
Yeah. I have to say, just like what's interesting is like I've been doing as I mentioned before, I was doing like there's an achievement to replay all the missions on the Master Chief Collection and finish them. So I'm going through these, and unfortunately, I'm not doing them in order. I'm just like, all right, I like ODST. I'll pay the $3 to buy the game, because you can actually buy the game for $3. That wasn't part of the original package, but you spend $3. And ODST to me is the best Halo mission game. It's not the best online game. Like if you're playing multiplayer, it's not that. So I'm going to and I'm playing the first game, Combat Evolved, and it is so long. Like, and that game is 15, 16 years old.
Yeah.
But they play it like they play it like the updated edition. So the graphics are better, but it's like half it's like I'm gonna run through this part but I'm not really running. It's taking me a while. And it's just funny because like now, like Rod said, like you're so used to being like, all right, snap, 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 let's go, next and just it doesn't work that way in the older games. You just gotta but there's kind of a beauty in that, right? You just you're actually enjoying the experience instead of being like just dopamine hits every 5 seconds. So yeah, it was just interesting trying to replay that game and just realizing like going, okay, well here's an actual story to follow. Right. Instead of here's a confrontation. It's almost like reading a book. Some books are good slow burn books. Like you go, okay, well that's good. You're building me, and others are like, no, it's just fast. So I don't know. Yeah. My point is just like it was just an interesting thing to see, like the first Halo, and then playing the later versions, and just like, no, the later versions are much quicker to get through you things and into skirmishes. So
yeah, I remember back in the '90s when I was a radio DJ in college. And we used to have a computer at the studio. And just to kind of go to that point, I don't know if you guys remember King's Quest 7. I think it was King's Quest 7. And that was a long story one. That was kind of an old role-playing game on the computer. And you used to look for, when you came in for your shift, you would get on, you'd be in the radio, you would get off, you start playing the game on the system, right? You would go home, whenever the next person come in, they would start playing. Like everybody was taking turns playing through this thing. It's such a long game, but you looked forward to it. And when you were doing it, you were enjoying it. You weren't trying to race through because you're like, oh, let me do my part and blah, blah, blah. And now it's just like you said, it's bam, bam, bam. You're trying to get through. But at that time, we were just enjoying the game we were playing. Everybody was like, well, what happened? What took place? And you were telling stories of what happened when you were taking it. And then you knew what to do when you got on it. So it's just, I think it's a different mindset. I think we've been thrust forward over the years just with all the technology and stuff and what we're used to getting now.
I think that's where like some of the type of games that you like might change a little bit over time, because I used to be all apart. Like when I had Xbox, I was about Halo, and then I went to Call of Duty, which is a little more faster pace, and it just kept picking up. And recently, the one thing that's been nice about like our podcast is that we do some story-driven games, and that makes you slow down. It makes you pay attention to some of the details, especially some of the ones where like there's the one we did like Until Dawn. So it's what I call like a butterfly effect game. It's every little decision is going to have a consequence down the end. So you want to be able to make sure you take your time with it. And we just played another one, which will be coming out, I think, in about 3-4 weeks, something about that. It's called Life is Strange. And it's the same thing. You just wander around. You can't really, you could rush through it, but you're going to miss like 70% of the game. So to actually, have to pay attention to detail, it's nice to take that step back a little bit. So
Life is Strange is like one of those kind of like artistic games. Like there's a lot of artistic elements to it that if you, like you said, if you rush through it, you're going to miss a lot of what makes that game completely unique. It reminds me a bit, not the same, but remember the game Limbo that came out, which was, it's very low res, like 2D side scrolling, but it was like almost fucking depressing to play.
Yeah.
you were like a tiny kid trying to escape hell. Like, holy fuck, I made this.
You look at the picture like, oh, this isn't too bad. Here's the story. Oh shit.
Oh no.
I'm not seeing who? What happened to my sister? Yeah. And that game was like super hard. There was like some points where like
really hard,
like for 2 or 3 days on the same part, like I couldn't pass, and I'm like,
yeah,
I almost had it. But yeah, that's a great game. And then they did I think they did another one after that. I can't remember the name of it, but it was on Xbox One.
Yeah,
it's like in color, like almost the same thing. A little boy like on a mission.
Yeah, it was not. That one was like, it was so hard, but like at the same time, like the storyline was like almost distracting because you're just like, fuck, I'm playing at this little kid trying to escape hell. Fuck, what is this?
Have you guys ever played that game Outlast? That came out. I know it was on the PS4. I don't know if it was like Microsoft, but that is one of the freaking, like, you're playing a game. I'm a big horror buff type person anyway. So there's this game Outlast. You're talking about it. Like, you basically have to outlast the people that are trying to kill you. Like, you're basically locked into this place where there's like, I don't know, Texas Massacre type people that are after you, right? So the goal is you're supposed to play it with the lights off, the sound up. Mm-hmm. The music in it is just crazy. Like, you start thinking someone's standing behind you after. I had to cut it off. Yeah. I can't mess with this right now. I gotta wait till the sun comes up before I start messing with this game again. So, you can literally feel your heart racing at some moments. Like, it's so crazy realistic. So they did 3 versions of it. So if you ever want a game that'll freaking make your hairs stand up on your arm, check out Outlast. One of the 3 games there.
Nice.
Cool. Looking forward to peeing myself a little bit. Sounds great. Yeah, double. It's like...
we have a comment here, Doug, and I think
all guys. Yes. See,
I've heard that game is fun.
I want to get a PS4 just for that, but then I'm hoping that's available on the PS5 when I eventually get it some next year. Who knows when? But yeah, my son sits down and watches videos of some guy playing that all day, and I'm like, this game looks good. Let me download it. He's like, it's only PS4. I was like, well, I guess we won't be able to play it. Let's watch another video.
It's fun, but it's aggravating. Like with so many other people, it's like I'll sit there and play for a while. Like your goal at the end is like to get the crown after like 5 different like rounds or something. Still haven't gotten a crown, but yeah, it is fun. It's just basically a bubbly cartoon most extreme elimination challenge, and it's like I'm all on board. Oh yeah, there's ones where there's like spinny wheels that you have to jump over, and other people are crashing into you. And then you have the trolls who just really want to shit on your day, or just like they can hold you like by the side of a ledge and pop you off into the goo that's like basically destroys you. But it's a really fun game. It's like you were talking about, one of the mindless games you can go play like for you Fortnite. It's like I'll go on and play some Fall Guys and then get angry and swear at my TV a little bit, but it is that Chris is dead on. It's fun and frustrating at the same time.
Anything that is comparable to Most Extreme Elimination Challenge, just all right. Now I need to find that. And I have an Xbox. How the fuck do I find that? God damn it!
I think it's just PC and PS4.
Yeah.
Come to the dark side, Doug. Player 1.
I just hope it's not like Guy Ledouche and freaking Vic Romano and all those guys. Oh my god,
Chip Blankenship,
Ken Blankenship.
That's it.
If anybody has never seen that goddamn show, pull it up on YouTube. You will pee yourself laughing. It's the funniest fucking show I've ever seen in my life. Like, it's just, it's so that's one of those shows that like I laugh so hard I have to rewatch it because I missed so much that I was laughing. I don't know. Have you guys ever seen that? Besides Steve, I'm assuming you have, but
I have not.
Isn't it like the competition show that's like dubbed? Is that
yeah.
What it is? Okay. They used to have it, I think, on G4.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
and it's like I think it's a Japanese game show, and then they would dub it over with American voices and just do completely fucking ridiculous fucking things to say.
Yeah,
and it was just like they would just say shit, and you would start laughing, and you go, "Okay, well, I need to rewind that." And the problem is, you'd be rewinding it. You would have to actually videotape it. Like that's how old this show is. Oh my god, such a good fucking show.
It is just people having to bounce off of trampolines in like a Velcro suit and try to like get themselves stuck on a fly trap on the side. Someone where they're running across like a bridge and they just have people either swinging giant medicine balls or a guy at the end like shooting a cannon that just has like giant kickballs or something, and you just see like these like men or like smaller women or small guys running through and just catch a kickball to the face and just topple over down on the side. And it's like, oh, you fell in the mud, you're done. It's like, it's brutal. It's like there definitely probably some injuries, a couple snapped spinal cords, and a few concussions.
It seems like an update to American Gladiator.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but with people far less fit, these are like skinny Asian folks trying to cure that. It's like fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, you probably had to sign like a waiver to be an American Gladiator. This one was like, oh no, you'll be fine, just go.
Yeah, exactly. You don't sue
You don't
much
need
in
to sign
Japan.
nothing,
Just come on, have fun.
What are you afraid of? Just go out there and do it.
Don't mind those boulders coming at you.
Yeah, I'm sure
Oh
you
my
can find
God.
something on YouTube.
Oh, wait. I found Fall Guys MXC Edition version 2. Oh, no. I mean, somebody took Fall Guys and made like an MXC dub over.
I'd watch that. I'd watch that in a heartbeat.
All right. Well, I'm going to post a link over in the chat and you guys can watch it because I have no idea how good that's going to be.
Yeah, that's true. That could either be, hey, you had a really good idea, and it's like, wow, that's a pile of dog crap on the floor. Good job.
Yeah.
Thanks
Could
for sharing this,
could be a lot of shit that nobody wants to watch.
Yeah.
But here's okay.
No, I was going to ask Rod. Rod was mentioning before that he was he's definitely gonna, or he's looking at the PS5, and what he said was, or what Rod said was that he was, he thought that some of the games that he saw was fire. You want to shoot some of them off real quick, Rod?
Well, I was always like a big fan of Gran Turismo. The new Gran Turismo looks good.
Yes.
I mean, that looks really sleek. The new Spider-Man Morales game looks really good. A lot of people looking for. I didn't get the Spider-Man on PS4, but if the Morales game, I would definitely probably get on PS5. It just looks that pretty much cool there. You have your other traditional stuff. It's just the thing about the reveal. It was more of the technology they were using for the games and the sleekness. There was a couple games on there. Can't remember the name, but they were like you were pretty much immersed in like some type of movie on some of these character lines that they have. So it's just a lot of the stuff they're doing there, just taking it to another level.
Mm-hmm. Vic?
For the PS5? Yeah, no.
PS5, any of those jump off of you? Or you want to hit on some of the Xbox ones too, you can.
No, I mean, the Miles Morales one, definitely. I did play a little bit of the Spider-Man game, and I loved it, basically because I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, so I thought that was amazing. But yeah, that one looks good. There was one that, I don't remember if they showed it on that showcase, but on the previous showcase they had, it was like some guy that was like on an adventure, and like his butler was at home. I can't remember the name of that one, but that one looked really cool. I can't think of any other ones that they showed. I remember they kept showing those X's and O's, and it was just so. I don't know if it was meant to hypnotize you to keep watching the show, but after a while, I was like, "This is annoying. These kids are behind you already."
Could have thrown up some Hypnotoad or something.
Yeah, exactly.
That one that Chris mentioned, yeah, that one looks badass.
Yeah,
That's another one. Yeah.
Steve, you have any PS5 runner at the moment?
Yeah, I'm in with Rod for Gran Turismo 7. I was a huge Gran Turismo fan for a while, fell off for a little bit, but that's definitely a game that'll get me back in. Spider-Man with Miles, I'm 100% in for, because I did play Spider-Man on PS4. I was like messing around with like Batman Arkham Asylum, and he's swinging around. I'm like, I really want to play Spider-Man. And then like, I'll just download Spider-Man. If you can, Rod, I'd say pick it up if you're a fan of those type of games to finish up. And Vic, if you get time, the storyline is that amazing. So I am looking forward to see what they do with Miles. And then Horizon Forbidden West. Because with Horizon Zero Dawn, I was done. I was like totally in that game. It took a little bit, but then once we got about like a couple hours in, I'm like, this is exactly what I want in a game, to shoot a bow, take down people, and ride like robot animals through like the wilderness or whatnot. So then it's going to be, now this is going like out west. I think in one of the previews they showed like the Golden Gate Bridge. So I'm like, yep, let's do it.
Excellent. Chris, our friend Chris has he's the hitman.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
And Sackboy and Count.
Sackboy and Brandon said, "Oh yeah, because they're coming out with the new Little Big Planet."
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, yeah, I remember that game. I never played it, but that looked like that was like a PlayStation game, and I was like, man, that looks fucking hilariously fun.
Oh yeah, because
Sackboy and Panda looks kind of funny just because he gets split up on it. So.
We arrived to our resident Xbox guy. We can start with him with the So, are there any Xbox games that are jumping off at you? Was there? See, again, I don't follow the premieres or anything. So, when they premiered the box, did they come out with some games? What was going on, Doug?
Well, obviously, I'm gonna go with the next Halo game just because that's my thing. But there's Cyberpunk 1977, I believe. That one looks great. 2077, excuse me. That's the one that has Keanu Reeves as the main character. That looks fucking great. I don't know. For me, I'm not one now as I get older where I'm like, okay, well, I'm just looking for this release. I want to see what you're going to give me. Like, obviously, if it's going to give me Halo, great. I'm going to pick that up. Unless it's Halo Wars, which fucking sucks. But
it's gonna come pre-installed on the Xbox.
Yeah.
oh, so it's like,
How do you really feel?
so it's like the U2 on your iPhone. I see.
Yeah. And there's no way to delete it.
damn you, Bono.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see what they do with the Gears franchise. Here's the thing. So, like, Rod, I know you're like an online guy to play online stuff, and so am I. But for me, I also give me a game that has a single player because I can do that, and then I can get used to the gameplay and the mechanics, and that's how I get used to what I'm going to have to do online.
Right.
That's how I work. But I fucking hate the online for Gears of War. I hate it. All of them. They don't like. All right, so maybe I haven't played the last one online, but like it's always like you're dead. You have to wait till the next round. I'm an old guy. My reflexes suck. I don't want to wait 15 minutes for the next round. Like, just fucking give me a respawn point and I'll go do that. And yeah, I might die 50 times in a round, but at least I get my time in. So I don't know. That's just my perspective on that.
Yeah, I think that depends on the games. Like Call of Duty, there's matches you respawn right back in. So yeah.
Which is so. I want to ask Rod about the idea. You played the new version, the Cold War version of Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of it as far as mechanics, as far as authenticity? Like, the thing is, Call of Duty is usually pretty good about authenticity for the era that they're trying to portray. What do you think of that?
Right. They had some pretty cool scenes with this one. Now, this was the alpha version for the Cold War for people that didn't watch or haven't got a chance to play it or see it. So it's kind of set in. They have 4 locations that we saw from maps. We saw Miami, which was pretty freaking phenomenal what they did for the Miami map. They had another one that was in Moscow. Another one that was somewhere like in the desert sands, like in the middle of Saudi Arabia or something, which was kind of cool. But the best one was the naval map they have. So they have a naval map where you're basically rappelling from ship to ship on death matches and all that kind of stuff. You can actually pilot the boats, you do all kinds of different things, which is actually pretty sick. So the issue that I ran into with it, and on my Twitter page, I've had other people that actually have said it too, that I saw, it was a little bit sluggish in the movement compared to Modern Warfare, but Modern Warfare is a little bit more smoother. Again, taking into account this is the alpha, that it might have not been to that point yet. But if you play the Black Ops 3 version of Call of Duty, very similar to that as far as what you saw for the way they racked your points and the way you kind of saw how the guns were working as opposed to Modern Warfare. Different types of weapons. They have some pretty cool things in there. They have this one thing they included, which is called some type of mine type thing where you put it down and it shows your radius for any intruders that could actually get into your space, which was pretty cool. So that was one of the perks you could actually use. They didn't have like Claymore. They had like proximity mine, a couple other things, but they had some different types of guns you can use on it. I'm a hardcore player on Call of Duty. That's the only thing. Like on hardcore, on Call of Duty, I play hardcore where it's like, you shoot someone, they die, like 1 or 2 shots, they're down. Versus where you got to shoot someone like 15 times before they die in the regular version. So the hardcore wasn't set up for this yet on the alpha. So I'm looking forward to see what that does. So that was a little bit different than the playing style I'm used to. They do have a Warzone version on the alpha, but that wasn't available yet. So that'll probably be out in the beta. So that should be pretty cool to see what they do there. I imagine that to be kind of like Black Ops 3 that came out. So you're going to have that. I think every shooting game is going to have like a Warzone type thing. I mean, with the emergence of Fortnite and the other Call of Duty games and then some of the other ones you're seeing out there, people want to have that like me against the world type map or me and my buddies against the world type thing. So I think you're going to see that a lot more in a lot of the shooters. But first day in, and I did a couple of videos on my channel for Rajay Game, and the first couple in, it was like, kind of tight, not really digging it much. But by the third day, I was actually starting to get into it more. And of course, then it got cut off at 1:30 Sunday. It was like, oh no, I can't play it anymore. So you start to warm up to it over a point. It's got some ups and downs with it. Some people like Modern Warfare better than this. Some like this better than Modern Warfare. I think it gets to your playing style, but overall, it was still enjoyable.
Wait, so Rod, we can see that on your YouTube gaming channel.
Yeah, on the YouTube gaming channel, Rajay Gaming.
Cool. And real quick, does anybody else have any Xbox games that you're interested in? I know Doug answered it. I don't know if you guys got the answer. Steve, Vic?
No, to be honest, I didn't really pay too much attention to what Xbox has in store. Sorry. I'm not biased. No.
Right. So, Doug, unless you have any more questions, I was going to wrap.
No, I'm good. Listen. To me, as an older fellow, I don't get much into console wars. I take a dump on PS5 or PS4 or whatever, but it's more like just me being kind of a dick, which is kind of my motif. But anyway, like I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do with the next console. And to me, it always seems like you get the games that come out with the first edition, and they're never like far ahead of what was on the previous console because they don't know what all the hardware can do yet. So, like, I feel like in the next year or so after the console releases, when you're going to see some real holy shit kind of moments with different games.
Any last comments or thoughts, Rod?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that, and I was going to bring up a thing I forgot to ask, the only thing that's disappointed me of anything thus far with the PS5, because I mean, I'm expecting people to have trouble reordered. I was kind of expecting going in that you weren't going to get it as easy. Was that initially the reports I heard is where they would have more of the backwards compatibility. And I had heard they were going back to PS1, which I don't have anything past PS3, but I thought that would be kind of a cool feature that you could play some of those old school games. And I have the PS3 and PS4 games here, but they're only going to the PS4 on select games they're saying right now, which is interesting. So I just thought it'd be nice to be able to combine stuff into one system and everything, which has been pretty cool. But outside of that, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing what it actually brings to the table.
Me too.
Vic?
Jumping off of that, they did announce that there's going to be like not all the A-list titles, but there's going to be a good, I think, like 15 or 20 titles that are going to be available on the PlayStation Network for PS4 games that can be played on the PS5. So I thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, I did remember hearing like they kept talking about backward compatibility, and I kind of got excited about that because I still have some of my PS2 and PS1 games sitting around. So I thought that would be fun to play, but now I can't. So the one game that I did forget about was they did kind of like tease a new God of War game. So I'm wondering how that's going to be, and once they give more details about it. But yeah, I'm going to keep trying to see which one I can get. If I can get both, cool. If not, if I can just get one, I'll be happy with that. But like Doug was saying, I mean, who knows? Right now, all the titles that are launched are, I guess you could say, preliminary titles, or what they can do with as much time that they had to get these games out. But once next year comes in 2022, they're probably going to be pushing the systems to the limit, and hopefully we'll see something that's going to, really blow our minds with it.
Yeah, I mean, who knows how they're gonna pull all this shit off? Like I was hoping for more backwards compatibility for the PS5 as well. I know Xbox has some, like they've been doing it with Xbox One to go back to 360, but in theory, they're supposed to be going back to the original Xbox. I'm not sure how they're going to do that. I don't know. For me, like I'm going to give you an old PS game that I fucking loved when I had a PS1, and it was Medieval.
Yes. Yes.
Medieval was a great fucking game. It was kind of silly and fun and challenging. And yeah, if you're a PlayStation person, I hope they give that to you. They're supposed to be coming out with a version 2,
like a remake,
a remake or something like that. Yeah, that game was so much fun.
That was awesome.
Hey, Steve, your last any last parting shots here?
I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat as Doug. It's like even being a little younger, I never really got into like the wars so much. Yeah, same thing. It's like I can take a shit on Xbox, but I owned the original Xbox and 360 for so many years. And I'm not the type of person that wants to get something at launch. Let me give it a little time. And I am excited to see what they're going to do a little bit down the line once these developers start to get to learn and utilize the hardware a little bit more. Backwards compatibility, it would be nice to consolidate, but I'm kind of meticulous with some of my systems, so I still have my PS1 up to 4 like working. It's just a matter of switching out ports and can I put my RGB in my new system or the new TV, because the original PlayStation doesn't support it. So now do I have to go out and get like an older TV, which I'll probably just end up doing anyway, like a CRT. But I mean, I'm excited to see what the future of these consoles hold and what they can actually do with it. And it's just hoping that all the hype and what everybody's waiting for is worth it without it being like too much like, hey, here's day one. Oh, by the way, we found out 1.5 million consoles have this bug in it, so you have to wait again. So we'll see with that.
That was
a 20-hour patch for your new system.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, we forgot these updates. So remember how your console gets a terabyte? We're going to need about 400 gigs out of that. So go get some external storage.
Speaking of the new systems, if there's anything I can say to improve for the next level, is the freaking download it. Like I should not have to buy a game at $60 or $70 or whatever like that. Get it home and have to wait 10 hours to play the damn thing.
Oh, Rod, you were so on point. You were so on point. I can't tell you how many episodes we've had where we've just went back and forth. It's like, I don't care if you have to, like what Cyberpunk is doing. They don't have a complete game. It's backed up and they're waiting until they have a full complete product to give that to you. I would rather wait an extra 3, 6, 9 months, hell, a whole year, whatever. So that way I don't have to sit and wait for this to update because you didn't want to put that in the game so you can get your money faster. I think that's a load of crap.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's a game developer thing, though. That might be more of a system thing. I don't know. I don't know the back part of that story. So,
I mean, sometimes it's both, but with some of these companies, it's just they already know the game is broken when they're sending it out. So then they know there's going to be some time between they ship out the physical units or put it up for digital because there's like their cutoff line, and then to have day one patch and say, oh, we'll just fix it on the back end and make you wait even longer than the usual download and install.
Which I will tell you, I'm surprised that the Halo game got backed out for that. I figured they would do the same kind of thing that they did with the Master Chief Collection, where they're like, we're going to launch it, and I know it has problems, but we'll just start fucking applying patches. And that killed that game. And what's a bummer is that game now, with all the patches and everything, is fucking rock solid. But when it came out of it, was like, well, fuck, I got to update 15 times. Fuck this. Like,
yeah, exactly. How long did it take to get there? And then all the backlash, they're like, we don't want to catch that much shit again. It's like, do it once. All right, you screwed up. Do it a second time. What the hell are you doing? Stop it. Stop it. No. Sits there with a spray bottle. Bad. Bad developer.
And on that note, we will wrap. It was excellent having you guys. Again, we will be here next month or the following month. Doug and I are definitely talking about Rod. We got to have you back. Definitely Rod for sure, to have like a holiday video game discount. Because Rod likes to get the discounts. He can get them on beer too. We got to have him for the beer.
Speaking of beer, happy Oktoberfest week to you guys. It doesn't feel like it because nobody's out doing anything because of Corona. But it is Oktoberfest week.
I do have. I think I have one here, but
yeah,
it is not the same. But no, I want to have a. Once the Black Friday ads start leaking, I want to be able to see. There's going to be deals. Kind of want to talk about that. Also, when we get closer to, the release, I want to talk about that too. So I'll keep you guys up informed when the next one is. But thanks for joining us and bringing your expertise because. I don't have any in this area.
Well, you're right on with the moderating, keeping it going. We appreciate that.
Yeah, what area do I have? Yeah, so
thanks for the platform.
Right. Cheers, fellas. We'll see you soon.
All right, cheers.